I'm Andrew Bolingbroke. I'm one of the advisors here at Boutique Advisors. We look after a lot of small business clients, professionals and sports people. We appreciate you making the time and effort to come along to our Professional Network Series event. This is number 6 in a series that we've been holding, where we've been covering a whole range of different topics. So, do you still use a notepad and pen in your meetings? Are you communicating with your team via email? And do you know there are better IT efficiencies, but just don't know where to start?
First of all, thanks for Boutique for putting on this event, and obviously thankful for you guys to come out. So a lot of people say, right, I want to get more done, I want to work better together, build your business and safeguard your data and simplify it for you. 365 can really do that. And I think sort of getting good technology basis in the business also sets the business apart from other businesses. These are generally the 3 plans, or we'll say 4 plans that we generally use. Business Premium is the one that we'll generally use because it adds the extra security element which we really use in the back end. So a lot of our clients are using that, and really for $27.50 a month per user, it's not just email. So when I say 365, that is a small portion of what 365 can do. So Teams, think of Teams as the most focal point of 365. Everything hooks into Teams. And we talk about utilising, we don't use email internally anymore, it's all through Teams. And we talk about using Teams and how you collaborate internally. People will talk from an IM perspective or instant messaging. Teams does that, and it breaks down these sort of messaging or how making an email official. Teams is one of the best things. So this is SharePoint Online. So all our data is basically accessible via any device, and it all looks very similar. So people are traditionally familiar with a F drive or a network drive. It just hooks into Explorer really easily. Once you get it into SharePoint, you really turn on some really cool features like version history. I've got a spreadsheet that goes back 4 years of every single change I've ever done. So it really tracks all that. You can sync for offline access. Again, it's really, you don't want to store all your files online. You only want to sync what you have access to or what you need. Co-authoring, really Google really pushed that one, so you can edit spreadsheets or Word documents together, so you can collaborate on one document. You just send the URL. You don't have to go back and forth on an email and you end up with 25 different versions. So Microsoft Teams. So what we've basically built our teams based on our internal structure. So we've got operations, we've got a leadership team, we've got our main inspired IT team, we've got projects, we've got sales, we've got marketing. And then basically what we've done is we had a look at all our emails, and then what were we talking about on a day-to-day basis via emails. So then we broke it down into separate sections. So we used to send an email for a start of day process. So we've got things that we tick off on start of day. Everyone used to get that email, so then it's just noise. So what we do is then, instead of sending an email, the guys just post it in start of day, and then it's there, we can access it, then people reply to it, and we know it's been actioned, so it makes life really easy. Major incidences is always a good one. Again, we've got alerts set up on that, so if someone posts in that, all hell breaks loose and everyone's on it, and then we can just respond to it pretty easily. So this is where we use forms. So this is our client onboarding form. So again, if we're going to pick up a new client, we'll ask always the same question. So all we do is go, hey, yep, please send this client onboarding form. Our terms and conditions are in there. All the information that we pick is in that, and it just gets pushed to a spreadsheet. It then, once it gets filled out, it then sends a message into Teams, we've got company forms down the bottom, and it will send a message into there, and it will just say such and such is filled out from one of these fields with all the information. I click on the link, and then we just import it into our CRM. It works really well. And then you can also run things around into spreadsheets, so I know when we've brought on clients, and we can run data on that as well. New sales call is a good one. I'm generally the main sort of salesperson, so I was always, if I was out and about, I would say, oh, we had a new sales call. I was like, well, did you ask me these questions? Yes, no, 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 no. So I just built a form, and it had the same questions that I wanted to know: the date, the time, the company name, the email address, did they use 365, the number of staff, and why were they looking then. So all they do is just go to a tab in Teams and enter that information, click submit, and then I will ring them back. This is Microsoft Lists. So we've just transitioned into this. So we had this as a spreadsheet. So we had multiple forms and people would, or columns, and then we would populate all the information in there. This is within Teams, and that's the one in the white background is in SharePoint, but basically we've got client expectations, medium, high, low, and we just select a drop down on that. Profitability, I'll blank that one out, but we've got contract expiry. What happens in the background is when it comes within 2 months, Power Automate will look at those dates, create an email and send it into our CRM, and then we can get that automated. So it's a really good little product. Data retention is another good thing within 365. So there's a lot of legislation for data requirement for 5, 7, 15 years, depending on what industry you're in. A few years ago, this would be very painful to set up. It's just basically about 6 clicks, and then you want to retain your data when it was created or when it was modified. So what happens is that if anyone deletes it, it just goes into a pool somewhere that you can't access it, and then that data is always recoverable. Again, it's so easy within 365 because, like I say, you never know when you need it, and you want to be able to recover it. If you don't use OneNote and you've got 365, try it out because it's awesome. You can use pen, you can take pictures, you can upload. I've got a section from my conference notes. Every single conference, I just take a picture of the slide. I don't have to document it. Just take a picture, upload it, and that's what, sitting with my camera, just take a picture of the slide and it automatically detects that it's a slide as well. So it's really cool. You want to protect your data. So there's things that you can do now to protect your data within 365. IP is a massive requirement now, so you need to protect your data. Using 365, you can protect it, so you can track who accesses it, when they access it, if they share it, if they modify it, if they delete it, if they forward it. You can also lock down. I've got a few, like a pricing calculator, which I've built over X amount of years. I've locked that down that no one can take that out of SharePoint. So if they do, it's encrypted. Hooking your desktops and your mobile phones to 365. Again, if you lose a laptop, it can be classified as a data breach, so you want to encrypt that data. You can also ring fence your applications on your phone because everyone backs up their phone, and also can pull that data away. So what you can do is lock your application so that all that data can't be transferred to another application without an active 365 connection. It's called Intune. This is the next level around automating builds. Like I say, we just ship a machine, they just log on, just need an internet connection, and all their policies, the encryption, the applications just get deployed. You can manage your mobile device as your mobile devices as well. So again, I talked about ring fencing your applications. You can make sure that passwords are enforced. You can wipe your data. If it's your company data, you can enforce those things. We're just rolling out Teams calling. So we're now running through, yes, we're using Teams for internal collaboration, but we're now running our telephone system through Teams. So I don't even have a phone on my desk anymore. I run it through my application on my phone or via the app on my desktop. I've built all the call flows through Teams. This is pretty cool. I think a Gartner report was saying that the next sort of 10 years, all calling will be done via Google or Teams, because it's just, we went to a client the other day and a traditional phone provider quoted $7K for a phone system. It's around 30, 40 bucks a user, and you can really build it out, and it's just in Teams. So as soon as that user leaves, just drop it off, and then they can't access anything. And this is the next level stuff, and it's really, really powerful.